Call to order the regular scheduled meeting for the Kingman Unified School District Board. If you will stand and recite the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Roll call, Tony Henry.
Lori Grant here. Star Jensen here.
Boyd Hardy.
Have a quorum. This will move us to the call to the public. The board will listen to any comments from the public, but will not respond except as permitted by Arizona Revised Statute 38-431.01. The board may refer the item to the administration or request to have it placed on a future agenda. And I have one from Nancy Moscow. You'll come up to the microphone, please.
Good afternoon. I'm here to express my opinion on an issue that I see in our schools that I hope someday in this school district will be addressed, and that is the dress code for our teachers, and now using one, which is a non-dress code. A dress code that is not professional one, and one that is very sloppy. I have brought this issue up before to our state superintendent of schools, Tom Horn, and our county superintendent candidates, and both have said that it's up to the school district to enforce a dress code. So that's why I'm here today. I'm an old fuddy-duddy, but I can remember my teachers and principal when I was in the 3rd grade. Why? Because I respected them and I respected the way they dressed and appeared to us on a daily basis. My principal came to work in a suit and a tie, and my teachers wore dresses that were casual but very attractive. I have observed the so-called dress code in 2 of our elementary schools, and I must say it's hard to distinguish the dress code of the teachers and parents because they all look alike. Which one is the teacher and which one is the parent? I've seen women teachers in very tight pants and very loose ones, and I've seen teachers in flip-flops and sandals. I've seen men teachers in sweatshirts with hoodies, and I've seen no coordination in colors. Apparently clothing just thrown on to get out of the house and get to work on time. It's time for Kingman educators to look professional, and be proud of their work with these kids. Dress codes are a way to promote a positive culture in schools, and students look up to teachers who dress in a positive way. Good teachers should always present themselves in a manner that shows respect for their students. It will help to ensure that students and parents have a positive view of the teacher, and teachers should be dressing professionally for conferences such as teacher-parent meetings and open houses. There are several reasons why a teacher should dress professionally. It assists in making a positive first impression on students and other employees, and it would encourage students to regard instructors as professionals. It would boost self-esteem by making you appear professional, encourage others to respect you, and it can boost your productivity and motivation by encouraging you to complete more tasks. The school district should have a dress code presentation as part of their teacher orientation at the beginning of their employment. So please no more flip-flops or open-toe shoes. Looking at someone's feet is not appealing, and in a teacher's position is distasteful. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a teacher dress code or anything? All right, that would move us to item number 5, the reports.
President Henry, members of the board, I would like to invite Chartwells to give the presentation tonight. And which one of you is? Both of you? Okay. Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. We just wanted to do an introduction of who we are. A lot of new faces here, obviously, since the past year, and then just give you a brief idea of what we've been doing through the course of the school year. Okay, so for an introduction, Corey Hansen here is the area director. Myself, Jeffrey Main, I'm the resident district manager. We do have a director of dining services named Christina. And we have an assistant director named Alexandria. So we wanted to talk about meal counts. As you can see, keynotes year over year from last year's school counts. Our meal counts are actually increased this year from the previous year. Participation for breakfast shows plus 2,272. Participation for lunch has shown an increase of 5,920. And total increase reflects 13,231 since last year, including snacks and supper. So overall, a good year so far. So current KUSD programs of what we're doing. We did a student choice back in December. Went off well. The pepperoni pasta bowl actually was the student's choice for it to go on the menu. We talked a lot of stuff with the district office about offering fresh items. So this was part of it. We will be holding the next one, which is going to feature a buffalo chicken flatbread or a margarita pizza flatbread. And that's going to be held on Thursday, March 7th. So it kind of gives the students a little bit of idea to put their input on what they want to eat. Last Monday, we kicked off a barbecue and a sauna bar at Lee Williams. It was more of a live action station there where we had staff cook in front of the students. As you can see in the first picture there, we had a lot of student feedback and participation for that. It actually increased the meal counts at Lee Williams. And then the next day offering the sauna bar, you can see in the pictures, a lot of students chose to actually go there. And we have some of those offerings in the back area for you guys to try a little bit later. We're going to continue doing this barbecue every Monday and Wednesday for the rest of the school year. And then for the sauna bar, we'll continue with that every Tuesday and Thursday. And in upcoming events, Mood Boost program. That's an engaging event where we have the students connect with foods and how it makes them feel. So we'll kick that off on February the 29th. We have a program called Global Eats, which is themed menus from around the world for students to try new cultures and new tastes. We're going to kick that off on March 28th. And then a Discovery Kitchen is more of a learning technique for the students to learn about culinary items or about fruits or vegetables or things like that. And we'll kick that off on March 7th this year. And thank you very much. Do you want to?
I just want, the only thing that I would add is the meal counts have gone up and we've seen that participation grow. It's been a direct result of the communication from Dr. Donner and her team about wanting to make sure that we increase the options for kids and really get us back to having that fresh food for the kids. So open it up to any questions that you might have also.
Does the board have any questions?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We're looking forward to trying it later. All right, that will move us to item number 6, the approval of routine orders of business. We had documentation in our packets for the consent agenda. Is there any items that the board would like to pull?
I don't have any.
No. All right, then is there a motion to accept the consent agenda as documented?
I'll make the motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, moves us to item number 7, to approve the recommendation to remove Colleen Maholan and add Margot Jones as the approved check signer for the 2023-24 school year.
the housekeeping item where we need to add our new Director of Finance, Margot Jones, as a signer and remove the former director.
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion on the table. Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 8 is to approve a new course for high school level, Intro to Automotive.
President Henry and members of the board, this Intro to Automotive course supports KUSD's strategic plan, Priority 4, Effective and Transparent Transitions, Initiative 1, expand and strengthen well-defined and varied career and college-ready pathways and instructional models at all grade spans. Principal Ward wasn't able to be here today, so I'll just share a little bit about his vision for adding this course, specifically at Kingman High School. His vision for Intro to Autos is to offer a class that pairs well with driver's education that any student could benefit from, even if they have no desire for the auto industry as a career. It will include life skills such as changing tires, jump-starting car, or things to look for when buying a used car. It gives students practical knowledge they will be able to put to use in the real world. When KHS surveyed its students in their BART class, there were 167 students interested in some sort of autos class at Kingman High School. When Mr. Price came along as a long-term sub this year, they knew that they had someone that could help make it a reality. This elective class is not designed to compete with the autos pathway at Lee Williams. That is a pathway for students who want to be in the autos industry. However, if they do have a student who would like to go in that direction, they can talk to their guidance counselor and work with their sister school, Lee Williams, to arrange their schedule so they can attend that pathway. They currently have one Kingman High School student who's on track to complete the autos program at Lee Williams. And then a future dream would be for the popular CTE programs to have a Friday option, so attendance zones are no longer a barrier to the pathways. Any questions?
I have a couple. So one, it's not going to be a CTE course, it's just an elective.
For now, yes, correct.
And am I correct that how much of it will be hands-on compared to just instructional? Or will there be any hands-on?
There would be some hands-on. It would be what Kingman High School is able to offer because they don't have an autos lab currently at their school. So it wouldn't be quite as hands-on as what Lee Williams is, but it would get kids who are interested in that pathway could potentially pursue it at Lee Williams.
And to add to that, Director Alvin, they do have, I believe, a roll-up door and area in an existing classroom that lends itself to this. So it wouldn't be necessarily totally in a traditional classroom. They can roll up, they could have a vehicle out there where there would be some hands-on inspections and other kinds of things. And as Director Alvin said, the dream would be then for those who find an interest in it to go on and work in the CTA program in the autos.
Last question, will it be a prerequisite to being included into the automotive CTE program in the future?
Not at this point. It would not, because our goal is to have kids do some career exploration prior to getting into a CTE pathway. So that way they are aware of what programs are out there. And then if they want to take this, they can, but it's not required to get into that autos pathway.
Awesome, thank you.
Any other questions?
Actually, I got a question.
Sorry.
So what would be the difference between just taking, say you go in your freshman year and you take a beginner's automotive class in the pathway versus this? Is it literally just the location?
This is an elective course. It's not part of the defined CTE pathway through the state of Arizona. Dr. Dorner, you had conversations with Principal Ward. Do you want to add to that?
There would probably be some overlap, Board Member Hardy, where Intro to Autos would cover some of the things as Autos 1, but Autos 1, as Director Alvin said, is a CTE defined curriculum. And then Autos 1 covers some of that, but just more of an overview. So it's to what their appetite, to give them real life skills, and then perhaps what their appetite for the actual CTE pathway.
And then to separate the people that are hardcore into getting into the CTE and the others that just want to know how to change a
Yeah,
tire.
they just
and
want to
stuff
know
like
how to,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
They're going to be
perfect.
16 and driving and want to know how to interact with their car. And then the CTE pathway is, and fix it when it breaks down.
And this is off topic from this class specifically, but have we talked about something involving the whole electric car, the hybrid car? Is that something that's been going on with the CTE program?
Well,
I'm
with
assuming that's
our
out
new,
of nowhere.
our new CTE coordinator is pursuing those pathways that we know are up and coming for students. So she will be looking at what's up and coming and we need to bring to Kingman. And if that's one of them, then that will be on the docket for future.
Awesome. I was just curious. Thank you.
And this course will only be offered at Kingman High. It won't be offered at Lee.
As of right now, it's at Kingman High School. If Lee Williams determines that it's a course that they need, then it would be available for them to add as well.
Two things just to add. I was in the discussion when Principal Ward was bringing it to the district office, and you could hear the passion in his voice because they have to pick first semester, second semester. And so this kind of gives a bridge where it's a similar type
Absolutely.
thing. And then I attended the eighth grade tours on both of the campuses. And there was a lot of mulling with those students who were excited about autumn intro to, and driver's ed and how old do I have to be? And so amongst themselves, they were talking about this particular course. So,
That's exciting to hear.
yeah. All right.
Perfect.
All right. Is there a motion on the table then to approve the new elective course for Kingman High School, Intro to Automotive?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All right. We got a double motion and a second. Any more questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, on to item number 9, possible action to approve changes in compensation for classified staff members paid on an hourly basis effective February 19th, 2024 through the end of staff members' work calendars for the fiscal year.
President Henry and members of the board, in December 2023, staff carried out the action of the governing board and issued addendums to at-will notices of employment to increase the rate of pay for classified employees earning less than Arizona's new minimum wage of $14.35 per hour. Staff committed to bring a subsequent raise proposal for consideration by the board for all hourly staff earning more than $13.85 per hour at the time of the December meeting. The proposal before you today recommends a 3.7% increase in pay effective February 19, 2024 as follows. Staff who are earning more than $13.85 per hour but less than $14.35 per hour in December 2023 will receive a second addendum to their at-will notice of employment. The 3.7% increase will be calculated on an employee's hourly amount prior to the issuance of the first addendum. So if they were earning $14.10 an hour as an example, it would be 3.7% on the $14.10 per hour. Staff who were earning more than $14.35 per hour in December 2023 will have the 3.7% increase calculated on their current hourly rate of pay. This proposal does not include an additional increase to base pay this fiscal year for staff who went from $13.85 per hour to $14.35 per hour in December. Staff recommend the governing board approve the increase in pay as presented and authorize staff to issue addendums to individuals impacted by the board's decision. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Is the 3.7% an equivalent amount of a pay raise that went from like the minimum wage to the new current minimum wage so that it addresses compression?
It is similar. The $13.85 to the $14.35 was approximately a 3.5%, but that was that began in December. And so this begins February 19th, which is the first part of a pay period. And would go through. So I would consider it a comparable raise.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion on the table. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any more discussion? Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. On to item number 10. Possible action to approve the 2024-25 employee work calendars and paid holidays for classified and 12-month term contract employees.
President Henry and members of the board, each year goodness, I am having trouble tonight.
You guys are just making me feel better when I stutter. I know you are.
So district staff create employee work calendars aligned with the board-approved academic calendar. For fiscal year 2024-25, district staff have prepared the employee work calendars in your packet for review and board approval. These calendars specify paid and uncompensated days, as well as proposed paid holidays. The calendars tend to be similar from year to year, with changes primarily driven by what day of the week legal holidays fall. The same is largely true for this year, with the following exceptions. Schools will be closed on Veterans Day since it occurs within the school week. It is designated on staff calendars as a paid holiday. The calendar for 9, 10, and 11-month classified employees now includes job classification titles, just as a helpful resource to staff. The calendar for 12-month employees also now includes both a 4-day and a 5-day schedule. And there is no longer a separate 10-month calendar for behavior and success coaches. For the 2024-25 school year, the behavior/success coaches will follow the 9-month classified employee calendar. The proposed paid holidays for 2024-25 are reflected on each employee work calendar. Employees will be paid for designated holidays on a prorated basis based upon their regularly scheduled hours and their full-time employee equivalent, not to exceed 10 hours in a day for more than 90 holiday hours in the fiscal year. And I have to say that is a correction from what I put in your packet, which said 80 hours, so it would be a max of 90. Staff recommends the governing board approve the draft employee work calendars and proposed paid holidays as presented for fiscal year 2024-25. Happy to answer any questions.
I think our packets were fairly concise. So are there any questions? All right, is there a motion then to approve item number 10?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, we have a motion on the table. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Item number 11, possible action to approve the language of employment contracts and at-will notices for the 24-25 school year.
President Henry and members of the board, staff anticipates sending out employment contracts and at-will notices of employment for the 2024-25 school year on or about March 26th. To accomplish this, district staff worked in collaboration with the law firm of Gus Rosenfeld to review and modify the district's employment contracts and notices for the 2024-25 school year. There were no substantive changes to the language in the contracts or notices. District staff recommend the governing board approve the district's 2024-25 draft contract forms as presented in board members' packets.
Did we all have time to review the 17-page document? All right. Then is there a motion to approve item number 11?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Got a motion on the table. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Any more comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Item number 12. I don't know if you're going to take them all together, 13 and 14, so I'll let you. I'll hand it over to you.
I promise this is my last one. All right, so for items 12 through 14, we have 3 valued and longtime staff members who have expressed their desire to retire with ASRS at the end of their current employment contracts and also remain working in their current positions as leased employees through ESI. They are Vicky Trujillo, Director of Exceptional Student Services, Shelley Eastman, Director of Federal Programs, and Claire Russell, Special Education Teacher at Kingman Middle School. Collectively, these employees have approximately 70 years of experience serving this community. Staff recommend the governing board approve the requests of Vicky Trujillo, Shelley Eastman, and Claire Russell to continue working in their current 2023-24 positions in the 2024-25 school year as leased employees through Educational Services Inc.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Comments? All
I'll
right,
make the motion to approve it.
items 12, 13, and 14.
Second.
Got a first and a second. Any more comments? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. I just want to express my appreciation for employees that have stayed with the district for so long, and we're glad that we can be able to support you in this way. So thank you guys very much. And that moves us to item number 15, the approval of donations.
I'll make a motion to approve the donations.
Okay, we have a motion on the table. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Have a second? Any comments? We thank our community members for supporting our schools in the way that they do. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So that moves us to item number 16, a motion to move into executive session to discuss the superintendent's evaluation pursuant ARS 38-431.03 A and 1 for discussion regarding the performance evaluation of the superintendent. So is there a motion to move into executive session?
I'll make the motion to move.
Okay, we have a motion on the table. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So we will. All right.
Motion to return from executive session.
Motion on the table to reconvene to regular session. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, is it appropriate to say anything now? Okay. Well, we think as a board very highly of our superintendent, and so we are glad she is staying with us. All right, so that would move us to item number 18, which is board comments. This is a new addition to our board, just to give the board an opportunity to maybe say something that is not necessarily on any specific agenda item. Oh, okay, so. Yes, Ms.
I'd
Sorry.
like to comment and give kudos to the 4 teachers at Black Mountain that I'm aware of that took their extra time and went down for the math training. And as far as that high school car class, I think I need to enroll after all the new stuff out there. Thank you.
You need the whole CTE class and
I
the ones coming up.
It's a whole different game when you get taught how to change a tire in theory. And then when you're actually blown a tire on the side of the road and you have to change a tire
That's true.
and your lug nuts are stuck and yeah. And so I think the hands-on component.
I
is
feel an
really
experience being described there.
Possibly.
Well, my car is actually in the shop right now for a problem they couldn't diagnose twice. And I told them what it was. They decided that it was, so.
Absolutely.
All right, any other board comments? All right,
No.
is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Had a double second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned.